Hello humans, welcome back to the Nora Show. Thank you for being here. Please hit the subscribe button. My 11-year-old son said that I had to say that. Feels weird saying that. You ready? You ready? You ready to be on camera? Oh, I bet you are. You're just too precious not to be on camera. Yes, you are. Good boy. Oh, you can do it? Oh, really? Yes? And we should do this? You think it's time? Okay. Updates. Okay, I think it's update time. Well, summer is here, that's for sure. The air conditioning has to be on. My allergies are in full-blown craziness right now, but I've got great lighting that keeps on coming in and out because we've got the clouds going overhead, and I've got cute little squirrels running around the trees. If I could get a shot of it, I would give that to you. I'm house hunting. This is not a good time for house hunting, but we'll see what happens. The most exciting thing that has happened thus far within the house hunting has been these ducks. Geese. Ducks, geese. They were geese. Okay, updates. Update time. I love what I'm doing. I absolutely love this. This is fun. I think I'm getting actually more sewing done than I normally do. And it's making me pause and reflect on exactly what I have sewn and where I want to go with it. So this has ended up being a beautiful accountability measure on my part. Ooh, itchy. All right. So today, we're going to cut out a muslin and see how far we can get with that today. I think I'm going to turn on season 1 of Supernatural. I've seen that enough times that it won't be too much of a distraction, but it'll keep me focused. And Watson is so freshly bathed and his hair is beautiful. Oh my gosh, that is so pretty. Oh, I hope that's in frame because, oh, yeah, I know. Oh, someone's petting you. Oh, yeah. Oh, don't fall off the chair because I'm petting you. Okay, here we go. All right, one more thing. On this dress, I need to go back in, make a note on it that this part through here got too tight, and I'm not entirely sure why or how. So I need to make a note of that. And anytime that I draft something that is similar in proportion, I want that to be something that I know to deal with in the future. The kids and dad are doing archery outside this morning. Normally I go and watch, but I really needed some sewing time. And it's very hard to talk in front of a camera when you have an audience right there. And our house is very, very small, hence the house hunting bit. I feel like I'm rambling now, so I should probably turn this off. And I think it's time to sew, which always makes me happy when I say that. Let's sew. Time to cut out a muslin to make sure that these patterns are correct. As a reminder, that's the right side, that's the left side, and that's the collarbone strap thingy that's going to help cinch that section together so that it actually fits. It will gather all of this under from here to here, and you need cute little ruffles that are even up and there. This section gets pulled in, and there's going to be a dart right there. This dart I'm going to mess with just like that one. All I have to do is aim for that area to bring it in, and I want to be able to fit that to me. Alrighty, I've got the right side, the back, and the left side cut out with seam allowance. I've got my collarbone strap thingies right here. I'm going to sew, and I'm going to sew, flip it over, and then top stitch it and with this part being gathered. Hopefully this works. The design feature of this dress that is the most interesting or different from what I have done before is this part. What I have done is mark where this is supposed to land, and I have done 2 seams nice and wide, and I have pulled for gathers. Since I know how long how wide my stitch allowance is, I'm able to not eyeball this at all, but just simply line this up on this side and on this side, pin it down, and as long as the rest of the material fits inside of this, it will be correct. Now, what I have noticed is that it would be very easy to end up doing something like that, where it still lays flat, but that's too high. So when it comes to the purple material, I won't be able to do that strong of a line in permanent marker, so I'm hoping that my chalk lines on that material are going to be easy to follow. As it is, I'm going to fiddle with this just enough to get it to be the correct width from here to here. I would rather spend my time fiddling with the purple material than spend all my patience here. All right, this is the right side. I've sewn up the dart. Gathers go right here. And I'm going to iron that flat. For simplicity's sake, I'm going to do a running stitch down that way to stabilize and stop things from moving around on the gather. Then I'm going to put in this gather, or this dart. To make my life easy, I'm meeting these 2 right there, grabbing the dot, laying it down, and hitting it with the iron. Also from here to right off of it, and then tie the top. Okay, time to sew. I have finished the bodice. I like the way it fits. I love the way the material worked. I need to set the shoulder, the sleeves, starting with the shoulder. I need to gather the shoulder and set that in. And that doesn't have me worried. The material has been delightful to work with. I'm looking at the skirt now. I need to draft it, and I need to figure out if this is a wrap dress. The more that I've been looking at this, the more I'm wondering if this actually is if I need a zipper at all, which would actually be rather cool. I wasn't planning on a wrap dress, but that's fine. It also, always read the directions. Okay. Dress figure 7. Cut the bodice pattern in 2 parts and mark right and left. Done. Place the patterns on the material, right side uppermost. Cut the skirt pattern in double paper. Trace the box pleat lines for the left side only. Cut and space apart as directed. Continue the box pleat 4 inches above the waistline. Place the patterns on the right side of the material to cut out. The bodice has shoulder fullness held in position with 1-inch bands of double material stitch. Yes, Done. The right hand of skirt is fixed to a 1-inch band of material extending from the underfront to the underarm seam. The right hand of skirt is fixed to a 1-inch band of material extending from end of underfront to underarm seam. The bodice is 2.5 inches deeper to fold under and fit over the skirt. To fold under and fit over the skirt. Oh. The box pleat is carried over the gaugings and stitched, over stitching. That part I understand. The waist can be finished with a belt if preferred. I'm going to draw this out, and I have a feeling as I draw it, it's going to make more sense. And if it doesn't, we'll hold up the paper to the bodice and we'll figure something out. I'm very much sewing in the blind right now, and I decided to roll with it. I'm going to put Pride and Prejudice back on and draw this out and start cutting things out, because I have an event that I actually want to wear this dress to. What a surprise. Cut on the lines and space each piece 3 inches apart at the bottom. So this is a slash and spread, and 1.5 inches at the top of the box plate. Continue 4 inches above the waistline. This almost seems like the skirt is going to get attached 4 inches above the waistline, and that this actually then overlaps 4 inches. The bodice and the skirt overlap 4 inches. If I now I'm looking at the picture. I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to do. So therefore, I'm going to turn off the camera, stare at this for however long I need to, and be completely confused for however long it takes. And then I'm going to do something that seems like the best possible option with maybe a fallback. The good news is this: even if I cut this 4 inches above the waistline to attach underneath the bodice that I will then flip underneath, and then I guess I have 2 seams. I'm not entirely sure how that's going to work, because then it's going to show through the other side. That's not going to look good. So I'm thinking that the only time that it extends upward on the skirt is for the box pleat, and everything else is attached like normal. Let's read that again. I think I just figured it out. Cut the lines and space each piece 3 inches apart at the bottom. That part makes sense. And 1.5 at top. So cut along the lines and space 1.5 inches at top for the box plate. So it needs to have another 1.5 inches somewhere in there to do a box plate. Continue 4 inches above the waistline. I think that's just for the box plate. Still not sure if this is a wrap dress. Still not sure how this attaches. I do have a zipper. I might be lucky here because I don't have a material that has a front and a back, so I'm not sure that this is going to be as difficult as, let's say, or be the way that I would do it, let's say if I was doing it in a cotton or something. So let's draw some stuff and see what happens. Okay. I think I figured it out. Maybe. Let's take a look at this. I have slashed and spread the bottom part of the skirt. I have a feeling that I will need to insert another dart or make it wider. This is the right side of the skirt with that interesting little placket that extends 4 inches above. This is the reverse side of the left side of the skirt. I'm going to be putting, without the placket. This will be put along the fold edge of the material so that we have 2 sides. On the left side, which is on the back side of this, I will not extend out the 2 inches here that I will extend out on the right side. Remember that there is no seam allowance, and when I sew this down, I'm going to want double that. So I'm going to add another 2 inches plus a seam allowance of 1/2 inch so that I can fold it here, have a double amount of material through this whole thing to really give this some structure, and 1/2 inch so that I have somewhere to sew on the inside. Now that being said, I'm not sure that I actually cut out the bodice correctly. Thankfully I have a lot of material because I'm pretty sure that what that instruction back there said was that I needed to actually extend the bodice down 2.5 inches to go over the skirt. And when I look at the picture, I think that's exactly what I'm looking at. I have a lot of the material though, so this is one of those lucky times that the width of the material might actually allow me to have messed up here. Or it's completely and totally correct. I don't know what I'm looking at and it's fine. We're about to find out. Okay, I'm about to cut this out. I don't like how the marks are coming out on the material. The material is very slippery and the chalk doesn't want to go on it very well, but it's a skirt. It'll be okay. Make sure I put a seam allowance on everything, cut it out, iron it, and start putting in the tucks and stuff like that. And oh, and then I have to draw out the back pattern and then get that and then sew it all together and then figure out what I'm doing with the bodice, because again, the more that I've been looking at the picture, the more I'm thinking that I really wanted to read those 2 sentences of instructions maybe a couple more times before I cut out the bodice. So I think I'm going to be making a new bodice, or I'm going to be changing how this looks. I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing yet. We'll find out what happens. I feel like I'm playing with origami right now, and I'm not entirely sure how this was supposed to actually go together, but it is going to work. It'll work. All right, let me show you what I'm doing. Okay, this is the waist with the placket that comes up. If I move the placket, you're going to see that there are a bunch of overlapping. So this is the cross that goes this way. This is the crisscross that goes this way. We tuck this under so that there's no rough edges showing. And this will line up with the side seam. So I'm going to need to sew all of this together, and then this needs to be on the inside so that it's like this on the outside. Then this will go over the top of all of this and get sewn all the way down. I just discovered Miss Fisher's detective something or other set in the 20s, and I think Australia, and I'm all into it. So that's going to be great to hem the dress too. You can tell I've taken this off a couple of times because my hair is all crazy. I stink at putting in zippers. I think I need to do a zipper review, and maybe have someone online that'll teach me how to do that just a little bit better, because I don't like how it always does something weird on me. So I'm gonna look that up before I put in another zipper. Okay, and as you can see, I got a haircut and I'm very excited about that. And you can also see my two tones and everything, which I'm actually really digging, because that's the grow out part of my hair. So I'm really digging my haircut. It worked out well. Okay. It's hard to find a hairspray that can handle wardrobe changes. All right. Anything else? Can't think of anything else. I wish I had something clever and perky to say right now, but I just don't. I'm just really excited about my dress. I love it. And it's not a house dress. And tomorrow I'm going to redo my hair, put on my makeup, and get out my really nice heels, and I'm going to get out my stockings with the line in the back, and I'm going to find a hat that, oh, I've got like 2 different hats I got to try with this, and I got to find my black gloves, and I got to show you exactly how awesome this is, because I'm just delighted. Okay, I have a complete mess in this room that must get cleaned up. I'm going to set out what I need to make the shoulder pads, which are itty bitty. We are not talking 80. I mean, when you say shoulder pads, everyone immediately thinks 80s football players. And no, just to shape this. And, oh, I was supposed to do something else. Oh, and a hem. So I'm going to set up those 2 things on the ironing board, put that in front of the couch, and everything else gets put away. And then tomorrow I will have a finished product and me all put together, because I am like shiny and my lipstick's all smeary and my hair's like going off in a direction. But that's the result of a full day of sewing and parenting and everything. And now I'm all excited with floppy hands. Okay, happy floppy hands. Okay, tomorrow. I have finished my dress. I've done my hair. I found it. Well, color me pleased. I absolutely adore what I've created. Now let's do a summary because there were a lot of things that I said throughout this video that need to be addressed. First, these gloves are entirely too tight. My hands are entirely too big for them, and that is so unfortunate. I have a lot of this purple material left. I'm going to use it as a lining in a future unspecified jacket, coat, or something warm-ish to go with this dress. It'll be matching. It'll be delightful. I love that concept. How extra. Okay, so that's first. Next, this is not a wrap dress. Okay, this is where I'm going to hope that the camera is correct. This part right here comes up and is over everything. This is supposed to be a blouse pleat, possibly a placket. And if I sewed this again, what I would do is actually run a placket here and do buttons all the way up, and then do an internal attachment for this side right here, making it not a wrap, like where a wrap dress and a button up merge and have a baby. That's what I would do here. You absolutely need shoulder pads with this one because it just drops, and then that just ruins the 1940s look. Does the bodice go low? Okay, so this is the picture of the dress. This is my waistline. I have a feeling that I was supposed to cut it low and allow it to gather a little bit more past the waistline. That didn't happen. I'm not redoing the bodice. This is entirely too well done to start messing with it now, and it looks good. So I'm not going to worry about that. If I ever make this dress again, I will experiment with how that drops down. Now, that being said, I have absolutely no idea where this would attach on the waist from the bodice to the skirt. I'm very confused about that. I would have to think about that a lot before I did this again and changed it. Tight gathers with serging. Not cotton. I think that's it. I don't have anything else to say about this. Easy dress, fun dress. Yeah. This dress was a lot of fun to sew. The color has grown on me. I love the color. It is such a rich purple. I love the texture of this material. I'm gonna go change now because I'm supposed to be dropping my kids off at fencing in like an hour. This is a bit extra and it's rainy. So I'm gonna mundane this down just a little bit, and I'll see you next week. So I guess that's it. Thank you. Happy sewing for all those that sew, and for everyone else, go do something creative and lovely for yourself.